Colin and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it is They Made What into a TV series. Final Fantasy Limited, we are in the 20s. The end is in sight. Episode 20, You, the Secret of Gaudium. We are in that home stretch, Damon, and episode 20 begins with I reflecting on Clear. So continuing the story that's been told so far.
Yeah.
You is concerned and claims that Kaze has told them fuck all about Clear. Well, obviously, it's Kaze. I mean, I appreciate their kids, and they're always going to, like, think that they can get through to him, but I do like the fact that Lisa has basically got to the stage now with him where she basically... He doesn't exist to her, she just blanks him most of the time. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, I think they all need to understand that he doesn't... He's not really interested in them. He's just with them because they're all heading to the same destination, the same goal.
Yeah, it's a shame that this never got further developed because, you know, Kaze is that classic character where he's all like, I have no feelings and I don't like people. But over the run of a game, he learns to care about people. And I mean, we've seen that character loads, and it's often been done well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, who's a good example of that in Final Fantasy? The character that didn't like anyone to begin with. Steiner?
Steiner, yeah. 100% Steiner, yeah.
We are referencing the Steiner from Final Fantasy IX and his duty to protect the princess and his dislike of everybody else, but obviously across that game. No, I think there's probably a better example, though, of a character who just didn't like anybody.
Wakka and Riku. Wakka hated Riku, didn't they? Because obviously she was Albed.
No. A character. I want a character that hated everyone.
Everyone.
Or didn't like everyone, but was with the party. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's a little harder. We want Wakka from Final Fantasy X with Riku. Is a good example of a character changing their mind. But yeah, I'm sure there are ones, but nothing jumps to mind.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, Squall was such an abysmal getting it, and he didn't like anyone really at the start.
Yeah, I think Squall is probably actually the best example we've got. Squall was kind of like, moodiness was he wasn't friends with anyone. Anyway, Sid now arrives flying on Clear's glove. How? Well, he claims it's an experiment on flying water. But I isn't happy and snatches it back. Then, bang! The ship hits a wall of the puzzle, and Sid claims that the puzzle's moved. Again. And this is our introduction leading to Fabula, who recaps the Clear story before telling us that it's going to be a You episode. The one with a pure heart. That's fine. Unlike a lot of shows that I think put focus on two children, particularly anime children with screechy voices, I actually like I and You. Like, I think they're quite fun. I like the characters, and I like the difference between them as well.
Yeah, I think overall there's quite a lot of likable characters in the show. You know, even like some of the ones who you only see for like a few episodes, like the commander of that weird army. You know, so they're all, so they're all quite likable. You know.
Yeah, the Commodine. Yes, I know who you mean. Yeah. So the ship is now falling out of the sky and stuck by lasers from some sort of defense system around something huge. They end up crashing into one of the defense systems, and Lisa senses a dark and malevolent presence. On this ship, they realize they are stuck, and the defense system is going to keep firing at them. They're going to have to fight back to start firing, but the missiles are shot out of the sky. It's all gone very science fiction now.
Yeah.
Sid realizes that the defense system won't fire on them because of their position. So basically, they're stuck on like a satellite. And so obviously the defense system won't shoot at itself. So he says, look, let's stop trying to fight back and we'll work out a plan to escape. The others agree, but Kaze notices the mist surrounding the world outside. Mist is just Makenshi, isn't it, you know, in this world?
Yeah.
Beast is watching and reveals that he was planning on them landing on something called Gaudium, but they got themselves caught in the defense system. Meanwhile, on the ship, Chobi is having a freak out because it can smell the dead peppers from the mansion episode. Well, isn't that a bit of a callback?
Yeah, 6, 7 episodes ago, easy.
Longer than that, I think. You know, I think it's longer than that. I think it might be more than like 10. Because we were still in the train during that period.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Desperate for the peppers, Chobi transforms and bursts out of the ship's windows with you hanging on it. Chobi flies them inside the big structure and leaves you, who finds himself alone in some massive halls. And we see he's being watched by Cruxstone. Gotta do it. God, that thing is annoying. It's the only thing it does.
I know.
You walks on looking for Chobi, but notices the sound of a second pair of footsteps. And I don't know about you, but I got a real horror movie vibe from this. You know, when you're walking
Yeah.
down a dark hall, because there's no music and it's just silence, and you've got that clack of shoes, and then you've
Mm.
got that second pair, and I got a bit of a vibe of like a late night walking down an alleyway, and you hear a
Yeah.
second pair of shoes behind you.
Yeah. It's definitely dark on it.
We're turning around though. Who does he come face to face with? The Earl Tyrant. I was really happy about this because this felt like a big deal. Like I was watching, I was like, this is a big deal. One of our main characters face to face with the Earl Tyrant.
Yes, and it was definitely a again it was a major push towards the ending of the show. So you knew that it's coming to the end now because the fact that they're all meeting the effective end boss. I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
Well, yeah, the ultimate, the overarching villain, the
yeah,
Seymour of the
yeah, yeah,
game
yeah.
of the show, you know. But one thing I did think was interesting because it hit me quickly. I was like, oh, would they? I was like, would they even know who? Would they even know who each other are? Have they
Mm.
had any interaction? And I was like, I don't think they have. And that would be proven correct because the Earl Tyrant basically looks at him and just dismisses him and walks on. You follows also not knowing who this person is, asking him to see Chobi. And I was like, that's an interesting touch, isn't it?
It's very clever to know. So they haven't met each other. So it's the fact that it makes perfect sense that they don't know who the hell they are.
Yep. The old tyrant laughs at you, saying that Chobi is his friend. After all, it's a bird. They talk and walk, and the old claims that when he's around you, he feels full, and that makes him happy. You tells the old tyrant that he's in Wonderland to find his parents, telling him the family name of Hayakawa. And basically, obviously, this reveals who you is to the old tyrant. But the old tyrant knows exactly where his parents are and points them out to you, who sees his parents standing there with their backs to him. My mind was blown. I was like, what is
Yeah,
going on? This is all happening too fast.
yeah,
Before we can continue this, though, Sid is trying to use the ship to hack into the defense system they're on. Back with you, who calls out for his parents, but they're ignoring him in favor of doing research on pieces of Omega. The old tyrant reveals that they're working on achieving his dream of controlling everything. And the old tyrant reveals that his parents were excited to work on Omega when they first came here. So we're now, I knew where this was going. I was like, okay, so they're going to have been like control. It all made
yeah,
sense now.
yeah.
You was confused and upset, thinking that his parents abandoned him and I by choice. And speaking directly to his father, it appears as though his parents don't even know who he is. You finally realizes now who the boy is, and it's not good news. And I do like the fact that like you suspects it, but demands like tell me who you are. I know who you are, but I need to hear you say it. And with Glee, the old tyrant reveals who he is. Outstanding.
Yep.
Steve, one of the best in the show, from Yu's emotion to his belief from a sad perspective that he believes his parents abandoned him. I was sitting there going, no, look, dude, no, they're being controlled. You can
Yeah,
tell by their eyes and stuff like that. But his perspective, his parents basically came here, got excited to work on the Omega, and chose to abandon their children. So, like, that's quite heartbreaking for him. But then also to realize the evil that he's weird, and you kind of get that close up of the old tyrant's face where it's gleefully going, well, I'm this person, I'm chaos and all that. And I was like, that's
yeah,
really good.
yeah. I mean, considering it was so rushed towards the end, they put a lot of effort and time into this segment. So yeah, so well done to the writers.
I will say now, we do say, we have said to this point in previous episodes, and we will continue forward that this is all rushed. It is rushed. You don't need us to tell you that. However, in a positive light, I will say, considering how rushed it is, they do an admirable effort of doing the best they can to try and tie everything up. And this is a
Yeah,
goodie and make it watchable. Um, Now, in a situation when the big evil has been revealed, you need a quick rescue, and that's what happens now. As Chobi, having gotten a pepper, comes racing by and grabs you, who calls out for his parents. So this is to get you away from the Earl Tyrant.
yeah,
On the ship, it looks like they will be able to use the defense system Sid has hacked into to destroy the others. So that's what they do before flying it towards the big central structure. Everyone is now everyone is now turning up. And I thought that was really cool. Like we're all coming together here, you know? As we see Mackenzie standing on the structure and Kaze aims his gun. Lisa stops and no, demanding that he give them a chance to rescue the others before he kicks off. And in classic Kaze style, because you're like, well, obviously he's just going to be like, fine, rescue the others, then I'll have my fight. Nope, Kaze throws her off. I was like, dude!
Yeah.
And just starts shooting through the ship's windows at Mackenzie. His ships do nothing on a shield Mackenzie is put up as Chobi and you come flying out. I will forever stand for Kaze being a bellend. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, it is a proper dickhead, yeah.
It just makes me laugh how he's written. It's like whoever had to write Kaze was like, I don't like this character and I want everybody not to like him. Again, Lisa gets in Kaze's way, but he notices that Magun has moved. At the same time, Mackenzie starts to activate his own special power, one that blinds the ship and summons the White Dragon to destroy the defense system they are on. Kaze doesn't get a chance to use the Magun as the ship is flicked away and through a portal. And we see her back in a maze as peace looks on. Great resolution to that. We were basically stuck where it was going to be destruction or nothing. So it was a clever way to get everyone out of the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
In the old tyrant's throne room, everyone is praising Mackenzie for his actions, but he seems sad about what he did. On the ship, Sid screws at Kaze. I appreciate Sid just losing the plot at him. But he thinks that Mackenzie might have destroyed this descent system they were on to help them escape. Now, I actually thought that as well, because I was like, why are they praising Mackenzie? In his actions, he technically destroyed the defense systems around Gaudium.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's what I always suspected it, but this is where I definitely confirmed what I knew about Mackenzie.
Yeah, they've been hinting at it through that Mackenzie is a bit of a kind of a grey area character, and that if Kaze wasn't there, he might actually be a good person, but because Kaze is there, it creates this grey area. Kaze calls Mackenzie his mortal enemy, as the others realize Yu was in Gaudium, the home of the Earl. Speaking of Yu, the boy seems shell-shocked and refuses to tell I anything. And that's how you end the episode. And I think in a really, sad moment, as basically he's just... And I get why he wouldn't tell his sister what he saw. Like, there's no good that can come of that. But, like, I felt sorry for him, you know? This is a great episode.
Yeah, I mean, as far as he's concerned, his parents might be gone completely. So why break his sister's heart?
Yeah. Yeah, I love this episode. This felt very big. This felt like a big deal, but it also felt, whereas the previous battle one was a strong episode, it never felt part of the show. It felt separated. Yeah. This feels part of the show. I was connected. I felt like we're built. I feel like not only are we built, we're still building to the end, but we're now getting there. It's in sight, and we're bringing characters together, and we're setting the finales up. You know, I really enjoyed it.
It's also it's one of those episodes too where you don't need to have massive battles. It can just be characters and a story, and it fits it perfectly.
Yeah, it's just strong shit, and it's the payoff for our investment. We are 20 episodes in of a show that's about 20 odd minutes long. That's a lot of time we've already invested in the show. This is telling us it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Episode 20, the Secret of Gaudium. Have you got any thoughts on this? Do you feel as strongly as we do as where the show is going and enjoying it as much as we do? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.